The night Alex left the country, I presented as an alpha. Not long after, I got the news that he had two. That's when I knew it was impossible between us. 5 years later, I was invited to Alex's welcome home party, only to stumble upon him in the middle of an unexpected rut. The next thing I knew, Alex had me pinned against the wall, biting the back of my neck. The pain made me want to scream. I shoved the now unconscious Alex off me and ran. Later, Alex showed up at my house with a marriage contract. "Billy, marry me." "Huh? Do you hear yourself right now?" Halfway through the party, the guest of honor, Alex, was nowhere to be found. And there I was, staring blankly at him, curled up in a corner with his eyes shut. His breathing was ragged. His suit jacket was gone, and his white shirt was a wrinkled mess. In my memory, Alex was rarely this disheveled. The air, thick with the scent of orange blossom pheromones, told me everything I needed to know. Alex was probably in rut. As an alpha myself, I felt a visceral repulsion to another alpha's pheromones. I covered the back of my neck and was about to go downstairs to get help when the man in the corner slowly opened his eyes. At the same time, the pheromones in the air grew stronger, laced with clear aggression. I instinctively called out, "Alex." The man in the corner stirred and looked up at me. The corners of Alex's eyes were flushed red, his eyelashes damp. His voice was filled with disbelief. "Billy?" The moment he said my name, the pheromones in the air abruptly softened. Thinking of his condition, I asked, "Alex, where are your suppressants? I can get them for you." I figured I'd help him out. Grabbing a suppressant wasn't a big deal. But Alex didn't answer right away. After a minute, he slowly stood up and walked toward me, saying, "I'm out. Haven't had a chance to buy more." There was something wrong with his eyes. I sensed danger and turned to run. The next second, I was slammed against the wall, my hands pinned. The scent of orange blossoms flooded my mind, overwhelming me. The pheromones made my knees go weak for a second. Alex was freakishly strong in this state, holding me tight against the wall. He leaned in close to my ear, licked his lips, and his voice came out low and raspy. "Billy, help me." My mind went blank. We're both alphas. How could I possibly help? A terrible premonition flashed through my mind. Sure enough, the second after he said those words, Alex opened his mouth and bit down on the back of my neck. Being marked by another alpha is excruciatingly painful. Tears instantly streamed down my face. Reacting to Alex's pheromones, my body instinctively recoiled, releasing more of my own to fight back. For a moment, the scents of orange blossom and ebony were tangled in a fierce battle. 10 minutes later, my strength gave out. Alex had completely lost his senses. He touched the back of my neck, dejected. "My pheromones are fading. Why can't my mark stay on you?" We both knew the truth. An alpha can't mark another alpha. After saying that, he collapsed on top of me. I couldn't support his weight and eased him to the floor. Took me a few minutes to clear my head. Feeling the throbbing pain in my neck, I couldn't stop a curse from escaping my lips. I really wanted to kick the guy on the floor. In the end, I just called a friend and told them to come upstairs to find Alex. Before they arrived, I clutched my neck and bolted. You'd have to be an idiot not to run in that situation. The consequence of being bitten by an alpha was that I went home and ran a high fever for days, feeling completely out of it. My mom frowned at me. "Billy, you haven't been right since you got back from that party. What's wrong? And have you smelled a little different lately?" she asked hesitantly. "You didn't go and get a partner behind my back, did you?" I pulled the covers over my head, my voice muffled. "Mom, just go out, please. Stop guessing." I'm fine. The back of my neck still hurt from time to time, and every time it did, I wanted to drag Alex over and punch him. After 2 days of lying in bed, I finally started to feel better. I was just about to head out when I got a call. It was from Alex's father. "Billy, could I trouble you to come over right now?" From the timing, Alex's rut probably wasn't over yet. Perfect. To get revenge for the bite, I was going to go over and beat the crap out of him. When I got there, the family doctor was present, and Alex's room was locked tight. Alex's father explained with a worried frown, Alex went into rut unexpectedly at the party. I knew that, of course. I was the one who found him. But something strange happened. Since that night, suppressants have had no effect on him at all. Huh? I was shocked. Suppressants didn't work on Alex? Alex's father sighed. He's been toughing it out these past 2 days. Last night, he kept calling your name in his sleep, so I thought I'd ask you to come and see. I blurted out, Alex bit me that night. A temporary mark. Alex's father and the doctor stared at me for a few seconds before speaking at the same time. Alex gave you a temporary mark? Aren't you an alpha? I reluctantly explained. Yeah, it was an emergency. The family doctor still looked bewildered. Well, that explains it, he murmured, still processing. Finally, he said, then I'm afraid we'll have to ask you to stay with young Mr. Jiang during his rut. What? I'm the one who got bitten, and now I have to stay with that punk Alex during his rut? The doctor told me this could be a side effect of biting another alpha. I was completely baffled. I'm the one who got bit, so what kind of side effect is Alex having? Alex's father took my hand earnestly. I'm counting on you to take care of Alex during this time. I'll take you both to one of his other houses in a bit. As for your parents, I'll explain everything to them, so don't worry. I still felt like I was in a daze by the time Alex and I were dropped off at the other house. Alex was awake now, sitting on the sofa in white pajamas. At this point, I had no choice but to accept it. Just this once, I told myself. Once Alex's rut is over, the connection between us will finally be severed for good. Alex kept glancing up at me every few seconds. Finally, he lowered his eyes and said softly, Billy, I feel awful. Hearing that, I instinctively asked, what's wrong? Should I call the doctor for you? I don't know if it was because of the rut, but I had the strange impression that Alex was being unusually docile. Alex shook his head and suddenly stood up to sit next to me. I want your pheromones. I frowned. Normally, alphas are repulsed by the pheromones of their own kind. It makes you feel uncomfortable, suppressed. But Alex just lowered his eyelids gently. It's okay. Since he said it was okay, I slowly released my pheromones. Around noon, Alex's father brought over lunch and a bag of necessities. He even brought my clothes and my laptop. That night, I made tomato and egg noodles. I only had a little. Alex ate the rest. After eating, I opened my laptop to work while Alex went to take a shower. 3 minutes later, Alex called me from the bathroom. Billy, I forgot to grab the body wash. I froze. As I walked towards the bathroom with the body wash, I gave myself a little pep talk. We're both guys, both alphas. Why the hell am I chickening out? I'll just knock and hand him the soap. It's not like Alex's body is better than mine, right? Wait, how many times should I knock? Left hand or right hand? And what do I say after? When I got to the door, I decided not to knock after all. I placed the body wash on the floor and said quickly, I left it by the door for you. Without waiting for a reply, I turned and fled. I just felt that given our current relationship, being in the same bathroom wasn't a good idea. Right, that's it. But when I went to take a shower later, I discovered there was already body wash in the bathroom, and the bottle I brought hadn't even been opened. Oh, I see. So you're not even trying to hide it anymore, are you, Alex? You were trying to mess with me, and I caught you. I grabbed the bottle, fuming, and was about to confront Alex when I saw him sitting on the bed with his head down, holding a piece of clothing that looked vaguely familiar. It looked a lot like the t-shirt I wore today. Seeing me come in, Alex stared at me intensely without saying a word. That look, it was strangely familiar. I paused, hesitating. Alex put down the shirt and said in a hoarse voice, Billy, I want to bite you. Not this again. The scent of orange blossoms in the air grew heavier. Alex's breathing was ragged, his dark eyes fixed on me, his lips a deep red. After that night, facing Alex's pheromones was still uncomfortable, but not as unbearable. It had been 3 or 4 days since the party, and suppressants weren't working on him. He must have been at his limit. I sighed, walked over to him, sat down, and exposed my neck. Alex, be gentle. Alex's breath hitched, and then he wrapped his arms around me from behind. Billy, I'm sorry. I don't know if it was because he'd held back for so long, but this time he bit even harder than the last. The pain was intense, and I blacked out for a few seconds. Damn it. Why do I have to sacrifice so much for Alex's rut? When I came to, I realized Alex was still holding me, not letting go. I tried to push him away, but he grabbed my hand. Don't move. Then, I felt Alex give me a soft kiss. I froze. Alex biting me, I could chalk that up to the rut. But how was I supposed to explain a gesture this intimate? My face flushed, and I pushed him away. You bit me, now go to sleep. With that, I tried to make a run for it. Alex reached out and grabbed me. Where are you going? To sleep in the next room. Alex let go. Okay, go ahead. But just as I was about to fall asleep in the other room, Alex knocked on my door. Billy, I can't get this suppressant patch on right. Can you help me? Alex stood with his back to me, head bowed obediently. I stood by the door, annoyed, and helped him put on the patch. After it was on, Alex looked up and smiled at me. Good night. After sending Alex off, I couldn't sleep, so I opened my phone to play a game. A few minutes later, Alex knocked again. Billy, I can't find my charger. With a dark expression, I handed him mine. The third time, Alex knocked on my door holding a bottle of water. Billy, I want some water, but I can't open it. How can you say that with a straight face? I finally got it. Alex was doing this on purpose. I couldn't take it anymore. Through gritted teeth, I said, Alex, you're in rut, you didn't break your hands. Alex looked completely innocent. My hands are weak. I really can't open it. I swallowed the curse on the tip of my tongue, took the bottle from him, twisted it open, and shoved it back into his arms. This is the last time. If you knock on my door again, I'm gonna punch you. Alex nodded obediently. I thought he'd finally learned his lesson. But no. A minute after I lay down, the guy knocked on my door again. Billy, I'm hot. The AC in my room is broken. Alex stood there, hugging a pillow, his expression dead serious. I finally understood what game Alex was playing. I was sure that even if I refused him this time, he'd find a million other excuses to knock on my door. Frustrated, I pulled him inside. Alex, you're in. Now get to bed and stay quiet, or I swear I'll punch you. Alex tucked himself in, looking perfectly behaved. Good night, Billy. I lay down stiffly, unable to get comfortable no matter how I positioned myself. All my sleepiness was gone. Just as I couldn't resist turning over, Alex threw a leg over me. Billy, I'm tired. Stop moving. I wasn't having it. I immediately threw my leg back over his. If it weren't for you and your games, I'd have been asleep hours ago. After I pinned his leg, Alex stopped moving. In the darkness, his annoying voice piped up, Want me to sing you a lullaby? Get lost. And somehow, in that weird position, Alex and I fell asleep. But when I woke up the next morning, I found myself sleeping in Alex's arms. My brain short-circuited. I was so confused. Given our position last night, shouldn't Alex be the one in my arms? Luckily, Alex was still asleep. I quickly maneuvered him into my embrace. That's right. He's supposed to be in my arms. 7 days later, Alex's rut was over. The day it ended, I felt an indescribable distance suddenly open up between us. He was still Alex, but he no longer belonged exclusively to me. Felt like we were back at square one. Since his rut was over, there was no reason for me to stay. I had planned to pack up and leave that evening, but Alex insisted on cooking me a proper thank you dinner, making me stay. After dinner, when it was time for bed, I habitually left my door ajar, waiting for Alex. But after several long minutes, he didn't come. When he came out of the shower, he was drying his hair while closing my door. Billy, get some rest. The day his rut ended, Alex stopped trying everything to sleep with me. I stared blankly for a few seconds, then turned off my phone and went to sleep. It made sense. His rut was over. This is how things were supposed to be between us. The next day, as I was packing my things to leave, I noticed a strange feeling in my body. I finally realized Alex's rut was over, but mine had just begun. If my rut had hit after I'd left Alex's house, I wouldn't have been this frantic. My pheromones were leaking out uncontrollably, and Alex noticed the change immediately. My hand on my suitcase was trembling. "Billy?" Alex's concerned voice sounded in my ear. I glanced at him and quickly looked away, because I realized I couldn't even look at Alex right now. Suppressants. Get me a suppressant. The moment I said it, I realized there were no suppressants here. Since they didn't work on him, Alex's father hadn't sent any over. I pushed him away, trying to leave. Alex reached out and blocked me. "Billy, you're in no condition to drive right now." My breathing grew heavier. Looking at Alex, I had an overwhelming urge to kiss him. Finally, Alex released his own pheromones and turned his head to the side, exposing his neck to me. "Billy, you can bite me." His submissive posture was an easy way to please an alpha in rut. Alex was still looking at me, the emotion in his eyes seeming to convey, "You can do whatever you want to me." My faint resistance was completely shattered. I knew how painful it was for alphas to mark each other, so I hesitated for a moment just before biting down. I wasn't sure if Alex could take it. As I wavered, Alex said calmly, "Don't hesitate. You helped me during my rut." I froze. Was he saying, because I bit you and you helped me, you can mark me now? So, it could be anyone? With all my strength, I pushed Alex away. "Call someone to bring suppressants." The calm expression on Alex's face shattered. "Billy, you won't last until they get here," he said urgently. I didn't want to talk to him. I curled up on the sofa, closed my eyes, and refused to communicate. Alex suddenly swore under his breath. He stared at me grimly for a while before finally dialing his phone. "Suppressants. The house on the west side. Get them here in 20 minutes. He was angry, looking even more miserable than I, the one actually in rut. I gritted my teeth and held on for the 17 minutes it took for the suppressants to arrive. Alex's hands were shaking as he opened the box. "Billy, you've got guts. You'd rather suffer than..." His last few words were too quiet for me to hear. Alex's chest heaved. His tone was so fierce he sounded like he wanted to eat me alive, but his actions were incredibly gentle as he administered the shot. After the injection, I fell into a groggy sleep. In my haze, I could constantly smell Alex's orange blossom pheromones. Gentle, submissive, with a faint hint of bitterness. I had a dream. In the dream, it was me and Alex in my bedroom, sitting side by side at my desk, working on practice tests. Alex's hand holding the pen was fair and slender. As we wrote, one of us started nudging the other with an elbow. Then, after bumping into each other a few times, we looked at each other and started laughing. "You're such an idiot, Alex. What are you laughing at?" Alex put down his pen and squeezed the back of my neck. "You laughed first," he said casually. "I only laughed because I saw you laugh." After he said that, we fell into a brief silence. It was summer, the air was hot and sticky, and the only sound in the room was the hum of the air conditioner. I turned my head, about to say something, when Alex leaned in and kissed me. We kissed quietly, leaning against the desk, tentatively exploring each other. We were so clumsy, our teeth occasionally bumping against each other. But neither of us pulled away. Years have passed, and I can barely remember that kiss anymore. All I can recall is the sweltering heat of that summer and my heart pounding violently. But the dream ended with the text message Alex sent the day after he presented. "Billy, two alphas can't be together. You and me, it's impossible. How can two alphas be together? I don't know. I guess I still haven't found the answer." But Alex had already given me his that summer. When I woke up, I realized Alex had carried me back to the bedroom at some point. The faint scent of orange blossoms still lingered in the air. Alex was in the kitchen cooking. He was wearing an apron, his sleeves rolled up. I was momentarily stunned. I wanted to suggest leaving, but for some reason, the words wouldn't come out. The effect of the rut was stronger than I thought. Alex placed the food on the table. "I called your mom and told her about your situation. She suggested you stay here for now." I was speechless. Some mom I have. Did she even consider her son's feelings? But honestly, it didn't matter where I was, since I had suppressants now anyway. Alex looked at me with hopeful eyes. "Just stay here until your rut is over." As if afraid I'd refuse, he quickly added, "I can cook. You've tried it, it's really good." I couldn't really find a reason to refuse that. After all, Alex's cooking was genuinely delicious. To my shame, I was tempted. What surprised me was that Alex came to my room again that night, pillow in tow. I was about to refuse, but the next second, Alex released his pheromones. It wasn't overpowering, more like a tentative probe. The pheromones made me so uncomfortable that the words of refusal got stuck in my throat. In the end, I still had Alex get me a suppressant. But that was just the beginning. In the following days, I felt more and more that something was off with Alex. In a single morning, he walked past me in his shirt at least 10 times. That wasn't the main issue. The main issue was, if you're going to parade around, could you at least button up your shirt properly? What's the deal with showing off your collarbone? At night, after his shower, Alex would cozy up to me. Billy, I bought a new body wash today. I think it smells better than the last one. What do you think? You want me to smell your body wash so you're showing me your shoulder? I turned my head away, unmoved, and reached out to pull his pajama top straight. It's fine. They all smell the same to me. Also, do you remember you're an alpha? Alex turned away from me, sulking. A moment later, he rolled over next to me, wrapped in his blanket. Billy, are you made of wood? Alex tried and failed repeatedly. When being soft didn't work, he resorted to force. The next time my heat flared up, he hid my suppressants. Alex, the suppressants. Alex sat on the bed, the picture of innocence. We're out. His words made me laugh in disbelief. Are you kidding me? I'm the one using them. You think I can't keep track? We faced off, neither of us willing to back down. Finally, he looked up at me. Billy, I need a reason. I froze, then realized he was asking why I'd rather use suppressants than mark him. I found it laughable. Didn't he tell me the reason himself the year he went abroad? And now he had the nerve to ask me. But Alex was so insistent, as if he wouldn't rest until I gave him an answer. Thinking of that text from years ago, a deep-seated resentment was stirred up within me. I said word for word because we're both alphas. How could it ever be possible for two alphas? If you were an omega, I would have been more than willing. But unfortunately, you're not. Once resentment takes root, emotions can easily spiral out of control. I admit I was being deliberately cruel, but weren't those his words? Wasn't he the one who said two alphas couldn't be together? Wasn't he the one who left the country before I even presented? Alex suddenly launched himself off the bed and lunged at me. He grabbed my collar, his voice shaking with rage. Billy, do you have any idea what you're saying? He was trembling with anger. So any omega would do? His eyes were red. I felt like if he wasn't considering that I was still in rut, he would have punched me. I sensed that things were not what I thought they were. Isn't that what you said? That two alphas have no chance. Alex looked at me, shocked. What are you talking about? When did I ever say that? I was stunned. Then I instinctively said, the day after you presented as an alpha. Isn't that what you texted me? Alex's expression shifted from shocked to grim. He shook his head, rambling, that wasn't me, I didn't send it. I don't know anything about a text. Now it was my turn to be stunned. If Alex didn't send it, who did? Alex held me. Billy, I'll explain everything, just trust me. I didn't send those texts. Almost instinctively, I believed him. But if Alex didn't send it, then what? Could we go back to how we were before? My mind was a mess from the rut, and I soon drifted off to sleep. When I woke up, I found that Alex had slept with me last night. I was too tired to kick him out anymore. But before Alex could explain, an unexpected guest arrived early the next morning. An omega who claimed to be Alex's. When the doorbell rang, Alex was still making porridge. I went to get the door. Standing outside was a slender omega who looked very sweet. His first words to me were, "Hello, my name is Cody. I'm Alex's omega." I blinked slowly. Cody didn't seem to mind, asking timidly, "Is Alex here?" I found this interesting. "He is. Come on in." And so, a minute later, Alex was sitting on the sofa with a thunderous look on his face, pointing at Cody and interrogating me. "You just said yesterday you liked omegas, and today you bring one home? Is this gossip about me?" Alex's tone was incredibly sullen. He clearly didn't know this omega. Cody was on the verge of tears, looking at Alex with a humble and pleading gaze. Alex, it's me, Cody. Alex remained cold. I don't care what your name is. Stay away from Billy. Cody looked like he was about to cry. I couldn't take it anymore. Why don't you try thinking a little harder? Alex frowned and thought for a moment before something seemed to click. He frowned at Cody. Why are you back in the country? Cody replied as if it were the most obvious thing in the world. To find you, of course. You came back, so I had to follow you. Alex was confused. Why would you follow me? Cody looked hurt. Have you forgotten our blissful life abroad? We were so happy, so carefree back then. How could you forget all about me the moment you came back? As he spoke, he actually started to shed real tears. As a spectator, I was loving this drama. It was juicy. More, please. Unfortunately, Alex was a heartless block of ice. Seeing a beauty in tears, his expression didn't change one bit. I sighed and stuffed a tissue into Cody's hand. Here, wipe your tears. Don't mind him. He's just a scumbag. That earned me a warning glare from Alex. In the end, Alex went back to the kitchen to cook, while Cody and I went from talking about relationships to celebrity gossip and finally to sports. Surprisingly, Cody and I really hit it off. Finally, Cody peeked towards the kitchen and whispered in my ear, "Dude, to be honest, there's nothing going on between me and Alex. I only met him a few times abroad, and that was only because our parents forced us." I smiled and patted his head. "I know you're acting." Cody looked dumbfounded. "How did you know?" "After you rang the bell, I saw you putting in eye drops through the peephole." Cody's eyes widened, a question mark on his face. I continued, "And when you were accusing Alex just now, it sounded like you were reciting lines." Cody said dejectedly, "And I thought I gave a pretty good performance." Cody and I agreed not to tell Alex the truth just yet. I continued to play along with Cody's act. So when Alex came back, Cody said pitifully, "Alphas are supposed to be with omegas. Alex is destined to be with me." Before I could say anything, Alex said coolly, "Who made that rule?" Cody, with red-rimmed eyes, looked back and forth between Alex and me, then played his trump card. "But your grandfather said he wants you to marry me." At those words, I saw Alex freeze for a moment. He didn't argue. I knew Alex's grandfather never liked me. Back in high school, whenever Alex got in trouble and needed a parent called, I was always part of the package deal. But Alex's mother adored me. She and my mom were old friends. She would always pinch Alex's cheek, then mine. "One of you will present as an alpha, the other as an omega. Wouldn't that make a perfect pair?" A pity we couldn't make her wish come true. Both Alex and I presented as alphas. Alex said he never sent those texts. Now, I could pretty much guess who used his phone to send them. Finally, Alex sat down next to me and took my hand. "You said it was my grandfather's idea. Since he likes you so much, he can marry you. In this life, there's only one person I want to marry." My palms started to sweat, and my ears felt hot for some reason. Cody continued to showcase his acting skills. With red eyes and trembling hands, he pointed at Alex, then at me. "You're both alphas. Aren't you afraid of being ridiculed?" Neither Alex nor I said a word. In the end, Cody ran out, crying. In the silence that followed, Alex suddenly asked me softly, "Billy, are you afraid?" I understood his unspoken question. I turned my head and couldn't help but smile. Whoever's scared is a coward. Alex smiled with me, then leaned in and gave me a playful bite. "You little liar, teaming up with Cody to trick me." Huh? I felt like Cody was about to cry for real, because it wasn't just me who saw through his act. Alex had, too. Alex started to tell me what happened back then. At that time, the real head of the Jiang family was Alex's grandfather. He was very fond of Alex and had always groomed him as his successor. Alex's father was a dedicated academic, completely clueless about the family business. He knew about my relationship with Alex back then. The early gender tests showed a 99% chance that Alex would be an alpha. My report showed an 80% chance. Alex's grandfather was making a bet. In his mind, if I presented as an omega, he would let us be, since Alex liked me. But I presented as an alpha. No matter how much Alex liked me, his grandfather would never allow me to be by his side. So, after I presented as an alpha, his grandfather immediately arranged for Alex to go abroad. It happened so fast none of us had time to react. After Alex presented as an alpha, he took the opportunity to grab Alex's phone and send me that message, completely severing any hope between us. He had arranged everything, but he underestimated one thing. He underestimated our determination to be together. Just like how Alex could spend years gaining control of the family's power to return to the country for me, I could also tell myself to trust him one more time. It's like I said, whoever's scared is a coward. Alex kissed me. Billy, you've always been the soft-hearted one. I bit him back gently and smiled. Just this once. The hate was real, but so was the love. I wanted to take another gamble. Finally, Alex released his pheromones and exposed the back of his neck. Now, you have no reason to refuse. After my rut ended, I failed to move out of the house. Alex said with a straight face, I've been marked by you. You're not going to take responsibility? Cody was right. You really are a scumbag. I held back a laugh. You bit me too. You're the one who said it was mutual assistance. Also, the scumbag Cody was talking about was you. Alex explained in a low voice, I thought you didn't want to mark me, so I was trying to give you an excuse. He leaned down and kissed me. Billy, it's only you. It has to be you. In the end, I dragged Alex home with me. I hadn't figured out how to tell my parents that my new partner was an alpha. But when we got there, Alex's parents were already at my house chatting with mine. The moment Alex's mom saw me, she hugged me tightly. Wah! My wish came true. They really ended up together. Later, after Alex let it slip one time, I found out he had conspired with his dad and the doctor to trick me. The whole suppressants don't work on him thing was a complete lie, and I was the only one who fell for it. Furious, I called Cody over and we put on another show for Alex. Cody, ever confident in his acting skills, hugged me with tears welling in his eyes, a picture of devastation. Billy, Alex is just a scumbag. Don't be with him. Be with me. He blinked shyly. Actually, I'm not any worse than him. Thanks, but I think I prefer Alex. Alex pulled me over to his side, looked at Cody and said, he only likes me. Cody blinked, feigning innocence. That's fine. Him liking you doesn't stop me from liking him. Alex was so annoyed he laughed. Then, right in front of Cody, he kissed me. Cody covered his face dramatically, shouted pervert, and ran away. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore and pushed Alex away, my ears burning. Cody later told me he never liked Alex at all. The first time he saw him abroad, he thought the guy was a stubborn mule, the annoying, unyielding type, but his parents kept pushing him to pursue Alex. After doing some research, he found out that Alex liked more wild types. So every time he met Alex, he pretended to be gentle and sweet, aiming to be exactly the type Alex wouldn't like. He was relieved when he found out Alex already had someone he liked. When Alex found out, he crossed his arms and scoffed. I wouldn't have liked him even if he wasn't gentle and docile. I smiled, feigning ignorance. Oh, then who do you like? Alex looked at me seriously. I like you, Billy. I've liked you so much since I was 17. No matter what your personality is, whether you're an alpha or an omega. I like you. You are my standard. He's actually kind of handsome when he's being so serious with his sweet talk. I like it. And Billy really likes Alex too.